we are close to elections. So what is the meaning of this? You put a country in a certain position. Ghana is not safe for us. When Ghana is safe for us. And so Kwame, so the parliamentary coup d'etat, going back to 1981. There should be no other coup in this country. What other way if you do? Now, politics, elections are won at the polling stations.
Polling station.
Elections are won at the constituencies, and not mere fact that we are seizing power by force just because something has been declared. And it should never happen in the history of this country again. Never should it happen. Now, if you propaganda could say that was okay, there, if your social media, I don't know if it's there. Social media on win elections, so social media on win elections. Therefore, you look at social media, you look at the response of the people, and then you come there, you are emboldened. Then you take over. Taking over. And Kwame, once the Supreme Court has come out with a decision, because this is how Supreme Court is being lambasted.
By whom?
By the very NDC caucus, with some of their prominent lawyers. I don't expect them to say certain things. Look, I respect them. The NDC has good lawyers. If they are becoming political there, they are becoming so blind to certain issues. The one you have insulting the members of the one hour adjudicating assignment. You insult them, but the constitution, as in the name of God, and
yes,
and by the will of the people.
Yes.
And you go vote you. They accepted the constitution. In the acceptance of that constitution with our terms, yes, there should be an executive, a legislature, and then a judiciary. Now, laws are implemented in Parliament. It is given to the judiciary. One will interpret, and they come out to tell you there, look, what you have done here, recall back those people. And then you start to insult them, that they should be knowledgeable. Wow.
1st July. Kwame, you see in the last few days, and the last week and a few days, election 2024. Ghana Armed Forces statement. Kwame, as a teacher, bullet points they offer 1-1 into Meba also first.
Yeah.
Your comments.
Yeah. I'm saying, soldier 4 now war fee and now put them one more and run. Krata Brigadier General Agri Kwashi and Sasha say a year Shami or that a Fiano. The Right Honorable Kingsford Sumana Bagbin and our tunes are from Momokoye. Timothy say a honor a titia. Say, me say your cousin who degree. Chairman General, they toss you. O my Ghana, a your maya, ye dimra, and a teacher o my ye dimra, and soon ye bibia.
Okay.
Na Osha ya mamra noa, Kwame edi enim noa. The dana di pefe woman say, Ghana no, ya wadia your friend say, the supremacy of the constitution and as a supremacy of the law.
As you say.
The tia what Kramun say, Obi Bia or Ghana Hanmono, or Yemra ba, or Shemra se, Emra, the Emra che and Odiso. They need to me Bia a dibro so. Won't mean sin Hokwine. Entisabi. Offer or my yimu to me a hoodwa. Oko Article 57 2 and now bet yes ye pass or mine to me deɛ so paa no ɛyɛ mampanin nsam na ekuta na mampanin nsam na ehyɛ eti me kan hɔ no mu Kwame ɔse the president article 57(2) shall take precedence over all other persons in Ghana, and in descending order the vice president, the speaker of parliament, and the chief justice shall take precedence over all other persons in Ghana.
Kahobium.
The president shall take precedence over all other persons in Ghana, and in descending order the vice president, the speaker of parliament, and the chief justice shall take precedence over all other persons in Ghana.
Into president, vice president, speaker of parliament, chief justice. 4 people.
One more to so a swap ministers no near the Kaka. And ye were a day friend say equality before the law. A bassy ye dear Sam, I will many uncle Lieutenant Temwa. And Ranu nim say uncle Lieutenant me of Anami papa. Or shep a sem no beada, no de ato. Sanet here and no. Na Chamandena, Sani is only this way, say, Yenina, Emramanti, ye were in Fuchinia. Ebi di debiachi ana se bi di debiachi sa na akwakoye enti se ba ne se Ghana fo nyina ba behia mampani e wo nanim e chen ya ka nyina maka no awie no ya mamra yi Kwame
yes
o ma yeti ase se enkrabata wodo miensa mampani aso ye friend executive arm mrase badwafie ye friend legislature eye atemuako ye friend judiciary obia wadwuma potin a ode mamra no de acha ne nsa se wonye e ba no mra nchirechiremu a eye Supreme Court na enyeme na make kan o Kwame oko article 2 of the National Constitution or say Ghana ni ba bia if a person alleges that an enactment or anything contained in or done under the authority of that or any other enactment, B, any act or omission of any person is inconsistent with or is in contravention of a provision of this constitution, may bring an action in the Supreme Court for a declaration to that effect, not to Parliament House, but the Supreme Court.
Métier.
Anna Kwame, okay, Article 2 now, or see the Supreme Court shall, for the purposes of declaration under clause 1 of this article, make such orders and give such directions as it may consider appropriate for giving effect or enabling effect to be given to the declaration so made. 4. Failure to obey or carry out the terms of an order or direction made or given under clause 2 of this article constitutes a high crime under this constitution for everybody and shall, in the case of the president or the vice president, constitute a ground for removal from office under this constitution. Your constitution is unambiguous about this. Article 130. Again, the power of the Supreme Court to interpret the constitution is further established there. Enti yedin komona se asenchenchemra nchechemu bi ebamu pe. Baby wo bia esese ko Supreme Court. Now Kwame is quite interesting ne akoso wo mrahye Article 93. In fact, particularly 97 1G. Chamandena.
Gabi. That's a BI time
GNH.
Article 37 GNH.
97.
97.
And 99 1.
Parliament be a Ghana be our lifespan.
To
me, power be a Ghana be our lifespan. That's what this constitution has made it. And the Mampani, are your friend of Ghana Mampani no? Or what bre a odi Ghana Mampani, or nya Mampani afibo. Mrasebe Jafie, are your friend of Mrasebe Jafie no? Bia wo ne bre a odi adwumana ne fie dodo obedi. And into the war parliament and friend say the 8th parliament
Which is this one?
Which is this one? Kwame. And ye can't summon for South Parliament where one. South Parliament where need to me. So be kwa kasafa Parliament for bi ho. Ye yamra. Ye say ye nyamra to take effect in retrospect. Ye nyamra say onko hwe niema ekọ so dada dansa na mra no ba. Ye yamra so ye nyamra so say emra no anamontuo enkonya effect on future incidents are enyensiye. These are two things laws don't do or they cannot do. It's established. Classical locus. Na chairman general.
Okay,
97 1G now or say if he or she leaves the party of which he or she was a member at the time of his or her selection to parliament to join another party or seeks to remain in parliament as an independent member, it cannot be for a future parliament.
Twaso.
It is for this parliament. Now somewhere down the Munea Yeke. Anano. Kwame. We are in very times, difficult times as a country and the world. We are seeing in our name and a nipa young Casasu Yahubi womb. And ye pe anu ye pe akanye ye pe leadership. Ye dia ho brasier abutre Judiciary any sabi nyanse free nyame ho ene di tu anamo. Asamo ye kan wa asem ne Kwame. We shouldn't plunge ourselves into a crisis and leave say we will not have mediators. Enti asem bi ebeba bia no ye wo mpani ebeka. Sabi Osha Yamamra yi article 1125. A man who quite say ultimate declare seat to be vacant. And I say, see, in fact, you are only recognizing a seat when it is vacant by Obisubai and Omobi Obietu. Okay, 1125 now, Kwame. Utwaswa ya 1126. Or say, notwithstanding clause 5 of this article, a by-election shall not be held within 3 months before the holding of a general election.
Yeah, and it's saying to me a by-election bill.
Kwame. Parliament, by law, there were 275 seats.
For now.
Nobody can vary that number to 271.
I know Supreme Court never check.
They say Supreme Court cannot even vary it. The number is a given. Say there were 275 seats in Parliament. And the Adiana Minia Atoforsen, all dim from Swa, Right Honorable Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, endangering the democracy of this country. And that's what the Right Honorable Speaker Kingsford Bagbin has become, a danger to democracy.
What do you mean by he's a danger?
Let me explain. Or say there are 136 seats on the for NDC sponsored members in Parliament. And there were 135 seats sponsored by the MPP in Parliament. There are 271 seats in Parliament.
Yeah.
Do we have a 271 seats in Parliament? Sorry, a 271 seated Parliament in Ghana.
I know about 275.
So what is he doing? This is what I mean by Adiana Wayano or Magana. Because on to me declare seat be vacant. On to me my by election till December 7. And Parliament Bay and I say any time be end January 6 to 2025.
Current Parliament no
seat ASA
275.
And the why I say I 271 no. Sabi who this is Seniania. Kwame, you see we need to do ponche machi. And oponia jekun kan sembi. Ye tu anamo bia. Ya na mo tu onu timi ma ne ye no ne nyansa ntem ware dodo. That's the danger in this thing. Kwame na de e nwanwa.
Anything.
Oka nsem no wie ye no. the Right Honorable Speaker, the effect of the now all year, a bit changing the dynamics in the House now. Or to also refer to Apenyo Mark and say, or your majority leader and leader of the House. Senenya Adrim Bonnet, any confusion or not, they are. The effect of what he had done was that Apenyo Markin could no longer be majority leader in the House. Why did he continue to refer to him as such? Kwame, it was a needless, avoidable, and in many ways dangerous step. Now Right Honorable Speaker Kingsford Bagbin knew or ought to have known. Say it needs of course how. And then there why and I will go share and ra wa who say mo ko share okra no munru dodoa esese mudi to anamo I don't say you do. Why do we have to get here? I didn't say you do. Then na Kwame ye pray to me dey ye den who sai say who be som and I say who sai say yan som wo adena ye no ye dey agro nothing say Kwame. And I want to say this. There are many people in our politics and our political space who think that politics is about jokes. Ye dia grobi.
Are they?
Oh yes. Now Kwame nya good dia. Adia unim sa mamrei. And this is a man we shamrei wonim papa. And ote abako sama say. Adia na oya no nim say who? It can plunge this country into crisis. And nyame na ye adomo a. Adia na oya na ano no. Kwame, na nke di oye ne baba.
In what way? Kwame so.
Yakai January 7, 2021.
Yep.
Yakai se nanu ya entoko ba parliament ba ko anomo ye 11 hon sensem ye pra obi. Moja 2 ye. Chama general. Sa na mo no kra onu 2 ye no. Woni say Supreme Court ka say na wa yam from so. There's precedence that Right Honorable Sumana case for Bagbin atu anamo Supreme Court amana hunu say anamo no otu ye no, it was against the constitution. Why you ko o say ye no enti di okoye ye anne parliament aye di aye ode ye ko hi Kwame when am di wie
me je
o hwe your national constitution ya Kwame the preamble. In the name of the Almighty God, we, the people of Ghana,
Young Ghana for
say ye nim nyame bi, say ye nim ye yonko nipa bi. Na de ye no say ya dwene mu ya kuma mu ye fi say ene ye nyame ntam tene na ene ye yonko nipa di ni ya o mu koso sa na wi
James Kwame Bonfe Kabila near Tin kind of Peace 104.3. Me call me YouTube page. There are a few people there, and YouTube for me Chiamunina Anope, Isaac Dazi Ewo Dubai, King Hassan Yakubu London, Emmanuel Aqua. Ewo Cardiff UK. Anyone mo contribute to YouTube, anyone mo share YouTube nina Anope Yechiamo. Aletebrim.
What me?
Yes. I mean, you didn't go to GF in Tiao Kauzi.
You know, there me Article 91, 97, GH, JJ. Yeah, nada. But what be mamizing can Kabila Dr. Bob Wafum.
Right in.
Wafum in a sense there. Yeah, normal ritual, yeah, Wednesday go. Oh, one step or no aside.
Right in.
Or shall I say. Or the anchor, some of the play. Mammy meant and a pay chow.
Ojodo.
Monday crew.
Wednesday kuku. In your absence in your query, Honorable former Minister Kwame Duncan. Abanti no amba benebi. We are no by Kencho. the dynamic, the maestro, my nephew, Honorable Dr. James Atulise. You have an honorable said that I say Otutu Tukwan on the politics is your very handsome. And the years we have an honorable Otukwan. Kwame is as simple as ABCD. Yawana yet there we invoke a certain article to declare for constituencies vacant. Monsieur Boawambano, the law now work a Kenya, Mayatani, Naidam. But for me, my interpretation of what happened last week in the declaration of 4 vacancies for parliamentary, it was an act of parliamentary coup d'etat.
Now, Senator,
led by Lieutenant Colonel Sumana Bagbin. It was an act of coup d'etat. No Osibio. I mean, you can't force yourself to take power when it is not yours. If you want majority, go and do your campaign on the ground. Come back to Parliament in 2025 and be the majority. But for me, I sense certain motives behind the declaration. Declaration are why a forced majority. Declaration are why a forced majority are what the abolish ye tax, this, that, blah, blah. Policies that they themselves as are buying that by Parliament, Mohunya were approving, they are going to abolish it. That's one way of a coup d'etat.
But if you abolish, it has to be assented to.
Remember, you see, you don't live in that kind of Alice Wonderland where you think that my abolish as they come and want to know I sent the president. So the next thing is that Parliament will vote no confidence in the presidency. Or a sequence of idea, strategy, what far to her. That is my interpretation of what happened at the Parliament House. Yes, it's a majority. For majority, you abolish anything about
but
which we were part of.
But did the speaker declare them a majority? Emphasis on the word declare.
But the speaker allowed them to sit at the majority side.
No.
No. But the NDC caucus were at the majority side.
One country or the one country.
No, but then you should have told them.
Mm-hmm.
He should have told them, go back to your seat.
Okay.
Uncle, because it was one-sided.
But one-sided.
It cannot be deemed as they sitting on the majority side.
Please.
Even though I agree with you.
Look, when immediately you go and sit at the right-hand side of
the speaker.
It means you are majority.
Impunity.
One you go and watch your we.
That's right.
It's your one or dog catch them on look. One can catch them one seat. I have declared nothing. What shall I say, Dama? Yeah, for all we know, in the Western democracies, we don't have any confidence in the president. The next thing, no confidence in government until they will call for general elections. We are close to elections. So, what is the meaning of this? You put a country in a certain position. Ghana is not safe for us. When Ghana is safe for us. And so, Kwame, parliamentary coup d'etat. Going back to 1981. There should be no other coup in this country. What other way if you do? Now, politics elections are won at the polling stations.
Polling station.
Elections are won at the constituencies, and not mere fact that we are seizing power by force just because something has been declared. And it should never happen in the history of this country again. Never should it happen. Now, if you propaganda kutin na what's called there, if your social media, I don't know been mizaba there. Social media on win elections, so social media on win elections. Therefore, you look at social media, you look at the response of the people, and then you come there, you are emboldened. There, you take over. Taking over. And Kwame, once the Supreme Court has come out with a decision, because this is how Supreme Court is being lambasted.
By whom?
By the very NDC caucus, with some of their prominent lawyers. I don't expect them to say certain things. Look, I respect them. The NDC has good lawyers. If they are becoming political there, they are becoming so blind to certain issues that when you are insulting the members of the 1 hour adjudicating assignment, you insult them. But the constitution, as in the name of God, and
yes,
and by the will of the people,
yes,
and you go vote you, they accepted the constitution. In the acceptance of that constitution with our terms, yes, there should be an executive, a legislature, and then a judiciary. Now, laws are implemented in Parliament. It is given to the judiciary. One interpret, and they come out to tell you there, look, what you have done here, recall back those people. And then you start to insult them, that they should be knowledgeable. Wow. Sister Ghana, baby, what doing? We want to take power by force. Musa Dangwasi there will win by 70 Aji. One side no one for Dondona, you know, one for Kwame there. Musa Dongo, info analytical, info analytics. So, also, you win in the years you don't know them, Chrome. But you go and take power by force in Parliament. Let me applaud Avenue Marking. He's done so well. My Avenue Marking, what's this?
What's that then?
Avenue Marking. NDC for Jobes one like a boom.
Nothing there.
Jawan Obohun. Avenue Marking, what's this? He's not a sober young man. Jawan Obofebi. No, it doesn't help us. Don't let us lambast the Supreme Court and its members. We will regret. Kwame Masami.
Bernard Alote Jacobs near Tenin Kano and pay me chia hello FM 4 ewu Kumasi anyone muti ewu Kumasi na Adas FM ewo Kintampo Rock FM Watakra de and the Beat FM says we are siren so any Ghana have any na baby amuti bia ichiamunyina no pay. Chairman General Paul Adomoche asked a question. What would the speaker do if about 115 or more MPs cross carpet? Well, Joseph from Adenta, I don't know what will happen. I wonder what our members of Parliament hope to achieve with this power struggle in Parliament. Odisha Jabeng in her show says that one. Now, here's an interesting one directed at you, Kwame Duncan. It's from Germany. It's from George Brown. George Brown says, I'm on a bus traveling to work in St. Jurgen Hospital. I've just been told that today that my schoolmate Apositivity is in your studios. Tell him I am listening to him live from Bremen in Germany. George Brown. So, George Brown, I've delivered your message to Kwame Duncan.
George, keep listening.
Yeah, Chairman General, for the mere fact that the Speaker acknowledges the Supreme Court ruling, he ought to have obeyed the ruling by asking the minority to move to their right place in the chamber. He turns around to now says he's going to, for the vacation of the ruling, he who goes to equity must go with clean hands. Francis Brakwa in Kumasi. Zachariah Nebuakwa says Kwame Bagbin has caused trouble in Parliament. Kabiesi in second D. Since they emanated from the revolution route, the NDC behave as if they are surrounded by an armor of superiority. The action of the NDC parliamentarians in the August House is totally alien. Well, it was nice to see them march yesterday. Why a match pass for her? No, fine. Okay, this one says the fact that the NDC moved to the majority side, having they en bloc also cross carpet. Father Abraham, Ni Ayi from Osu says almost everybody is misinterpreting the Constitution. The Constitution says it doesn't say when a member seeking to stand independent in the next parliament, but it says crossing carpet to the opposite side in the current parliament. In this case, the said members are still with the parties on which ticket they came to power. I am very surprised that even professors are getting this wrong. Niai from Osu. Kwame Bonfe, are you not a law lecturer? You're explaining issues to me and I understand it better. Lamte King Rashid. Well, Kwame Bonfe is naturally a teacher. We'll leave it there. So, teacher Kwabna. The NDC MPs. The NDC MPs can sense they'll lose the election, so they are doing everything to distract the public. Kingdom in Ashtown sense that Andrew Esiama decided to run independently after he was disqualified from contesting the primaries and also had his seat declared vacant in Parliament. Today, what has changed to declare 4 independent candidate seats vacant? Fantastic Wilberforce, Seshi Asarin. So, why do we blame the NDC for occupying the majority seats? They've been in opposition for 8 years. They know they are not winning the next election. The best they can do is sit on the majority seats for a period of 40 days to console themselves. Chosa in Taifa. The undisputed majority chairman general, it is all about a charade to destabilize the government. 1. They began with the unorganized labor strike. Then, to a group attacking government on Galamsey. Today, they want to destabilize government business. It's all a plan to revive the NDC's dead 2024 campaign. Nothing would salvage them for the upcoming defeat. Nana Hesse or Jerry. Let's call a spade and not a digging tool. The Speaker of Parliament, let's tell him he can't be there and conduct himself as if he's in his personal home. Kwame J. Eden Swam. And let's see. For the Speaker to acknowledge the Supreme Court ruling is an admission of such an order. So why doesn't he order the minority to take their place? Kwejo Edupaku Achim Esium sends that one. JC Buaku says, I disagree with Alote Jacobs that social media doesn't win the election. Media coverage, including social media, can shape public perception and behavior during elections. This can be attributed to various factors, including biased reporting, spread of misinformation, and targeted political adverts. JC Buaku, marketing expert, says that one. Kwame, I saw Justice D.F. Annan, Peter Ala Ajete, Ebenezer Sichi Hills, Justice Banfo Ado, Edward Joado Ajaho, Professor Michael Quay. Never have I witnessed such lawless parliamentary practice under the watch of these speakers. On no occasion did any of them proclaim to be number 3 and display dictatorship in the August House. Speaker Bagbin is something else. But I don't blame him. I blame the MPP MPs who voted against Speaker Quay on January 7, 2021. Posterity has come to judge them all. Sir Obama in Pokwase. Anybody can interpret the Constitution, but the final voice is the Supreme Court. Kwesi Reynolds, Agona Odobing. Kwame Duncan in my studio. A positivity uncle.
Your chairman, John,
in fact, may see the program marketing now.
I'm sure some could waiting for and pim.
Yeah, Jodo.
Gaga for Mantum.
Yeah, Jodo.
Why should I always see them? Buy your round 2.
If I know paying you so I'm question one, she must say, Kwame. From Jocelyn.
Jocelyn.
Macatro.
Even to Jocelyn.
Ha!
Honestly,
Oh, dear, Papa.
Papa be.
Abale again.
Abale again.
Natural Busianum.
Jocelyn, no, Eva. We must see them if nature will be you.
Sana.
Wow. Now, I say, a will cocoa and a page mother. Oh, yeah, the daily pill offer.
Yeah, then I say, Jocelyn.
May I show the Yakasi crowd here? It's Jocelyn and I pay a show your child sister Eva. Honestly, she's the only patron Wednesday, chief patron. And I bent a beer, no so a general manager or King Hotel, East Legon. Or from Kwame.
Kwame.
Osi ne busua ya tatata kekreka. Na ebusua ni nyina mo position there. There are 2 radio stations in Ghana.
Peace FM
or none.
Peace FM and the others.
No, Osi or none. Don't know kaje mo. Osi ne busua nyina Osi Peace FM or none.
Yeah, then I say Kwame.
It's Kwame and pay me sure there no so retain.
Roman nana.
Kwame Mincho and pay. Na as usual. Kube moshe bia ase aya mo no me won the post keke bia to Facebook say padisha o sha kona no post ngagra eti malika ne pe mi cho na mi chia mu nyanko me mu nua mu pain bia oya engineer oya banker oya law lecturer
nipa kwe
enjo I been there nku ai Daniel Mafu Esquire, engineer Daniel Mafu Esquire. Kwame maybe endam.
I'm retail.
That's right. Yeah, a preliminary. If you don't tame your lips, Kwame, say pain as I'm not pain is and fomu. You don't tame your lips. But show be a roba, dom kuso asha roba. It's a man pain that. A man pain or say godo. If your name. Catch and catching baby and a boy one with that boom. Or man pay not say God. Or no, hina or money na hinyam. Hinyam Yamaya war, the man in now, German paying those. Always your man paying dada. So too much share, then you mission a roba. If you're so catcher, I him fool. Now, so for there where you are chum. I saw for now him fool, where you hypocrite. Oh, qua, what bompamo. Itu kwa organize ma wo baba bashe prophecy kwa wo de mo kwa himfu ho a wogunsamo okro Central Region House of Chiefs na abenta chami bia wa fa na orbompa ni na wo ye mo na mo yanku sa ono so komo wo ye mana na re sha himfu no ya sofo re sha hwaroba na echinda wa tra Kwame oye nkramuni nyina nkramani nyina na dami no chada oni perception a owo na adwunum nyame mpangwa ma bonsam famfra de mayehuni mayefam mahama na abedo de musu baba hia de yere kwabe na yakoto da man perception owo na adwunum fa nkramfo hoyin de nkramfo de wonyimohwe wonhia di biara obobo ho mo wakọ nkan nkramfo de ada wo hia wo ha bebo mai de ho dokun na chinam. Amazing, a former president on a platform speaking to Gans that they don't need digitalization, that it is not digitalization.